Well everyone, we have another big week upcoming for the Corvette C8. Today is Monday, October 14th that this upload is going up, and in less than 2 days from now, which is Wednesday, October 16th at 8 a.m. Central Time, we will have the reviews embargo lifted for the Corvette C8. This means we will finally know just how truly good the C8 Corvette is. And this is of course huge because I feel I can confidently say that the C8 has been put on a very high pedestal. I mean, the amount of hype around this car is unmatched, and so Wednesday is Judgment Day for the all-new mid-engine Corvette. From the small bits we have heard around the internet, it sounds like the reviews are going to be great, but until they're here, I hate to have any speculation. I will be uploading an extensive review for the Corvette C8 using a breakdown from all of the different review companies out there. This should give us a very diversified look at just how well the Corvette C8 stacks up. That being said, this is a great time to make sure that you have that bell notification hit so that you know when my latest video drops on Wednesday. So moving on to the point of our video, we are going to take a look at the 1LT convertible and how it stacks up to a 2LT coupe. You see, the price difference is only $200 and I've been swamped with comments as to which is the better buy or value. Both options offer competitive features at a very similar price tag, so I hope today's video can help you narrow down your choice if you're stuck at that crossroad. Let's dive into the video. Less than 2 weeks ago, Chevrolet debuted their brand new Corvette C8 convertible. Not only has Chevrolet stepped up to the task of going mid-engine, but for those of you who live for convertibles, you now get a true hardtop. And personally, I think that is fantastic. I did a breakdown over the convertible in a past video, so I'm not going to go as in depth for this video, but essentially Chevrolet now offers you an electric motor based hardtop that is capable of giving you the best of both worlds. A visually stunning look with the top up, with new pillars that draw down from the seat lines, and the car even has a rear glass partition that can be positioned up or down as you please with just the push of a button. The top can even open or close at speeds of around 30 miles an hour. In terms of weight, Chevrolet says that the convertible will weigh less than 80 pounds more than the coupe and will give you almost identical performance figures. The action only takes 16 seconds to open or close the top, and it's made from a lightweight composite material. One neat feature is that while you do lose the back glass that gives you a view of the engine bay, the convertible will not take away from any of your cargo space. Chevrolet has designed a system that allows the top to sit perfectly over the engine bay itself. You do have choices of either body color top or a carbon flash metallic. We of course then get to pricing, and the convertible edition will set you back an extra $7,500. That brings a 1LT C8 convertible price of $67,495. In all honesty, this is fairly competitive. If we look at a McLaren 570S, which retails for $192,500, we can then look at the Spider version. It then jumps to $208,000, which is much more than $7,500. But when you spend that type of money, who's really counting? Before we move on to the Coupe 2LT breakdown, I did read a really interesting thread online talking about the big difference between the convertible and the Targa Top Coupe. We cannot forget that while it's not a full convertible, the Coupe does allow you to remove and store the Targa Top for no additional cost. There are a few photos showing the difference in options. I will leave it up to each viewer to decide for themselves on how big the difference really is. I will say that there should be a noticeable difference in sound, especially with that rear glass having the ability to be lowered in the convertible. Also, in my opinion, I do feel like if you look at the two photos, it's not as big of a difference as I truly thought it would be. Again, that's completely my opinion, and many people may feel completely the opposite way on that. I just felt like it was a good thing to use as a reference when comparing the two options. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 2LT trimmed Corvette C8, the value Corvette as many people seem to call it. At under 60 grand, the 1LT Corvette is truly impressive. You get great performance and very similar looks as far as the car goes for other options and trims. My only complaint is that you do miss out on a few key features that some people will truly benefit from. So let's go through what you get if you forgo the convertible and stick with the extra option coupe. The extra 2LT adds $7,300 to the base price, and it comes in at a price of $67,295. Now, the 2LT list shows that the first option that's added is the heads-up display. In my opinion, it's a great feature, especially if it's executed properly. I had a heads-up display in my Corvette C6, and it was extremely useful, but it was my first heads-up display vehicle that I had, and I actually would forget about it at times. So I think it does take some time getting used to it if it's the first feature that you've had on your car. The ordering guide gives us some insight on what is offered with the heads-up display. You have the ability to adjust the display to 3 different modes with a button next to the level adjustment knob. These modes are Tour, Sport, and Track. The display can then give you information such as display speed, current gear, your current tach measure, shift lights, turn signals, high beam info, turn-by-turn navigation, a G-meter, the speed limit, and even your current lap times. A quick video that you were just shown gave a very basic layout, but you can be assured that there's a lot of customizable components to the heads-up display. I would say that the best value comes from the navigation integration and the helpfulness if you are tracking the vehicle. The next extra you get is power lumbar and wing adjustment. This is an extra setting built into your seats that help to customize your seat into the perfect setting position. In my case, the wing adjustment will be nice to add additional support and holding my body in place during performance driving, but I don't personally use the lumbar support all that much. Really, this is a feature that will be useful to some and not so much to others. Next, Chevrolet has thrown in a wireless phone charging unit to the 2LT trim, and I have to say it does add a nice bit of convenience just throwing your phone in the wireless charging area and going. It's a great feature, but I wouldn't say it's a game changer. My wife's new 2020 Explorer has this, and while I love it, it's not an option that I would have paid for if it wasn't part of a package. One thing to note as well is for those of you that use Apple CarPlay or something similar, you won't be using this feature that much because you still have to plug in your phone through the USB. So that negates the point of wireless charging for you, just a small thing to consider. Heated and ventilated seats are next, and I have to say this is a big one, especially if you live in the Midwest where you can take advantage of both settings. During our hot summers, you can flip that ventilated seat on and help to keep things cool. And during the cold winters, when I think this feature is probably the most helpful, you can add heat to your seats to help warm up quicker. I've read numerous threads and articles over the years as this isn't a new feature, and it seems most people tend to sway towards this being a really nice option to have. Not everyone loves it, but I would venture to say that most are truly happy with the upgrade and that this option is available to them. Obviously, if you live somewhere where it's really hot year-round, say Miami, you're probably not going to get much use out of the heated seats, but at least you have the option for ventilation at your disposal. I am personally all for extra comforts, especially with this car being my daily driver. The package also does get you a heated steering wheel, which again is nice, but not necessarily a requirement to have. From there, the package adds to your vehicle a 14-speaker audio system from Bose. Chevrolet has really marketed this new speaker system, saying that it is the next level in terms of sound performance. The 3LT that I sat in a few weeks ago had this system, and while I did not get to hear it, the system certainly looked premium. Bose is saying they built the system from the ground up for the Corvette C8. The speakers will feature technology that adjusts the volume of your music based on how much noise is currently in the cabin. In an act that many people are already upset over, the Bose system will also have the task of bringing in artificial engine noise. I saw that Motor One emailed Chevrolet about this, and they were quoted with saying, "Nothing coming out of the speakers would sound like an engine on its own. We rely on the engine for all of the audio content, but given the pass-by requirements and multiple cavities between the exhaust tips and the driver, some frequencies are lost and need to be supplemented." Matt Farah first acknowledged this, but he did not give his thoughts on it. My guess is Wednesday, we will know how the reviewers feel about this move. Continuing down the list, we have navigation with traffic. It's a nice addition, but certainly not a game changer. I mean, I've seen people with large navigation units in their vehicle still using their phones as their main navigation source. Phones are just so easy to pop into place as you're Googling something and hit navigate. Nevertheless, it is a welcomed addition, and having a full-scale navigation with updated traffic built in never hurts. After that option, we get one of the best options on the list, and what I feel many buyers are looking forward to, the PDR, or Performance Data Recorder. The PDR has been around since the C7, and for the most part, it's been highly recommended, especially for track drivers. I know I will find huge usage out of it, and it gives me great footage for my future YouTube videos. Chevrolet has a short clip over it, and I'm going to play it very quickly.
Acceleration, speed, 0 to 60, 0 to 100, 100 to 0, G-forces, GPS location, accelerator and brake usage, gear choice, sound. These are things we've always had in the Performance Data Recorder, along with the ability to analyze your data like a professional engineer using Cosworth Toolbox. Now there's new automated recording options, so the PDR can act like a dash cam that comes on when you start the car. You can also time point-to-point road courses that you create and compare your performance on these custom routes day to day. With high-definition 1080p recording, the new PDR provides drivers with a higher quality memory of their drive. And if you're worried about how much fun the valet is having with your Corvette, well, the PDR can record that too.
As you can see from the video, the PDR is upgraded to the new version for the Corvette C8. You can customize more things and even use the PDR as a camera system when driving, which I think could be a huge plus. I can't wait to see what the magazines say about the updated PDR this week. In addition, the PDR was a standalone option for the C7 Corvette, and it came in priced at $1,795. So that should factor into the price of the 2LT package heavily. The next couple of options I won't break down as they're small and pretty straightforward. You have 1 year of Sirius XM radio and a universal home remote sun visor, which again, in my opinion, should absolutely come on the 1LT package. It's 2019 Chevrolet. Get with the program. The 2LT then comes with power folding mirrors, and these actually come in handy, especially in tight parking lots. The Corvette will fold the mirrors in when the car is locked, helping them to keep out of the way of people who seem to have no ability of watching where they're walking when cutting in between two cars. Just a nice little safety feature. We then move on to the rear camera mirror, which I extensively broke down in an earlier video, so I'm not going to do it now. This mirror is incredibly cool. It allows the driver to have a better angle of view in the back. My only issue would be is if you had an electrical failure and you lost your video feed. Technology is certainly far from perfect. Nevertheless, I think it's a great upgrade for the 2LT package, and a lot of people will find use out of it. The final options you get are curb view mirror, side blind zone alert, and rear cross traffic alert. All of these options help to make driving your car a bit easier, but again, they honestly should have been on the 1LT package. Out of all of those assistants, I would say the curb view cameras are the most helpful. They help to give you an idea of how close your front bumper is to the upcoming curb. They've saved so many bumpers and splitters over time. I know many Corvette owners swear by them, and with the change of the long front hood to a shorter style, this camera may be extra helpful. Chevrolet also throws in an advanced theft deterrent system, and I have yet to hear what that really adds in terms of security, but another thing that really should be standard on all trims. Well everyone, there you have it, a fairly long list of extras that you get if you go with the 2LT trim. The big ones being heads-up display, PDR, heated and ventilated seats, upgraded Bose system, and the front curb camera. I think for less than $7,500, it's a strong value that many buyers will be happy they made. But the real question comes down to if you should forgo those extras for a beautifully designed hardtop convertible. I hope this video will help you narrow down your choice. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. Make sure you hit that like button if the video helped you or you learned something new about the Corvette C8. Your support is more than appreciated. If you are new, think about joining our community by hitting that subscribe button. As always, you all take care, and I'll see you next video.